I can't even explain the level of tired I am. It's not even tired, like I feel like hella lazy. Like to do nothing, like not even text people back. Like literally kind of just hermit in my room and rot. And I haven't felt like this in the longest time. In the long ass time, bruh. Like, and I just don't feel myself. So, I'm gonna be uploading. I'm gonna try uploading for 20 days straight. 20 days is a good threshold for me because usually a month is like, that's a little out of my reach, I feel like, for starting out. So I'm gonna start with 20 days. I'm gonna upload every single day and film videos along the way, whether that's 2 or 3 a day, and then like continuously upload or film day by day. But I have been planning, as of recent, I've been planning a trip to Sequoia with a few of my friends, like like a friend and his friends, in community college. And this is honestly like, I'm honestly so excited because like this is gonna be cool. It's a cool trip. I've been to Sequoia before, Kings Canyon, and the Grand Sherman Oak tree. I believe that's what it's called. There's two trees, one of the tallest and the second tallest, which is coined America's second tallest tree and Christmas tree of the states. And I'm not too sure if we're gonna hit up that area yet. We're still planning out the details, but I have our place booked in 2 weeks, and I'm like excited because like it's gonna be snowing. I'm gonna have to put chains on the Forerunner, and I bought snow crampons, which was low key. Low key, I did more research after, which was kind of stupid, but I assumed it was crampons. Crampons are more for incline hiking, so anything that's really steep. But shoe spikes are for more snow-based ground level hiking, so not as like intermediate, I'd say. And then intermediate to easy, and then crampons are more like the higher level intermediate to difficult. So we're not gonna be doing any crazy hikes. There's Morro Rock, which kind of reminds me of like Half Dome, but instead this trail has like actual rails and poles. And I was watching a YouTube video, and dude, I don't know why I'm out of breath. I need to like, I feel like I freak out when I talk, and that's because I don't talk often. I keep to myself. So that's something I'm trying to work on with this podcast. Um, but no, yeah. So Morro Rock, and Morro Rock is pretty. It's a pretty good incline on top of the packed snow that was in the video. The packed snow levels to about where the rail is, so you have to physically insert yourself into the snow so that the rails are still, within your body length in case you tip over. But the views are amazing. The views are nice. The views are better above ground, if anyone knows my reference. And yeah, low key, like the group that I'm going with is like super cool. They seem super down to earth. I know it's not the greatest idea, but I don't know them all that well. But I think I need to do something spontaneous before the year ends. Like, I've gone to Mammoth with my family. That was more so my dad planned that trip. We went to, what did we do? I did some driving in Utah and Arizona when we went to Horseshoe Canyon, the Grand Canyon, Northridge, and it was amazing. The sunrise was amazing. And what was the other one? Bryce Canyon, and Zion. So I went to 3 different national parks and one, like I guess historical site you would say, because Horseshoe Bend is not necessarily a national park, I don't think. Grand Canyon, Zion, and Bryce are all national parks. So we hit up Arizona, Utah, and I think California, parts of California, over the summer with my mom and her boyfriend and my brothers, and that was amazing. And I just love that trip. I love doing like outdoorsy stuff because it like gets us together. My phone battery, but it's almost dead. Anyways, so it gets us together, and it's like, more of a family interactive thing, and it's also like appreciating nature. So like all of that within itself, I love. And we went to Sequoia and Yosemite the year before, which I freaking love Yosemite, dude. Yosemite is amazing. We went on, I think, the Mist Trail. I think we went on the Mist Trail, or the trail with like a bridge that goes over, and you can see Nevada Falls. So I love that trail. And it was low-key steep and a little scary, and I thought I was gonna die. But it challenged me, truly did. And I love that. And then also, like Sequoia, we hit up Sequoia going to Yosemite because it's within that vicinity northeastern of where I live. And the redwoods are next on my list as well. I have one of my friends that are interested in going, so I definitely think the redwoods, Oregon, Grand Tetons, like that's on the list. Mount Rainier, Mount Whitney, when I do get more, like when I'm well versed in hiking and backpacking, then yes. But I know it's the highest peak to summit in the United States, and that's low-key scary. I think it's like 14,000 feet high. Mammoth's peak sits at about 11,000, and that's pretty scary because the black diamonds out there, are insane. Like, I remember going up, and we took a picture right next to the mammoth pole with my family earlier this year in April, which is crazy because it feels like it was like a decade ago. But we took a picture next to the pole, and there's a bunch of other touristy people, snowboarders, your typical Jerry's, like, just taking photos. And I look down, and I'm like, there's no way in hell. Like, this slope is so steep, and I don't know how anyone does it, but I saw this guy take off on his skis down the Black Diamond, and I was like, hell no. Until then, no. Anyways, we weren't ready for that. My brothers weren't ready for that. Like, I think I was the least prepared. It took me yes, I do admit I'm the slowest on the mountain. But that is because I was practicing on my form, and I was trying to get my carving down during that trip. So I kept on eating it, which sucked, but it's fun. When you're there, it's fun to take advantage of the snow and advantage of the opportunity to even get to board, like be in the physical condition too. So I love that. I love the coldness and, in a sense, being a little uncomfortable. So I think that's what I'm pushing myself more towards in the year of 2026. Like, how can I make myself uncomfortable? And there's a lot of things in my life right now that are, and I'm not in a mentally like sound space, I feel like, right now, because I feel like I'm hermiting again, and I don't know if it's like my whatever seasonal depression, but like I feel like that's just a placebo thing. Like, that's all in your mind. Like, I could live for Seattle, for goodness sakes, and like where it's gloomy, where it's raining, and still be the happiest person on earth. And it's really all a mental thing, and how people perceive it. So how I perceive it. So I really want to go into the new year and not allow my bad habits to control the way that I walk, the way that I choose to live, the way that my habits. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Um, but yeah, the way that my habits are presented, like, I feel like self-image is such a huge thing to me now. It's starting to become, and human capital, and how much worth you are as a person, and just, that aspect of life. So it's made me think a lot, and it's like, am I gonna be the type of person that wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes on a run at 7, comes back and showers and eats breakfast by 8, and then hits the road and does work or schoolwork or whatever that is, and it hits, like, this past fall has been the hardest semester ever. Like, I had to drop 2 of my classes, and I was working 3 jobs at the beginning of the semester until October, and that just completely blew me out of the water. I don't know what was going through my head, but I know that a lot of my decision making is sometimes unfeasible mentally for me. Like, I think I can, but in reality, I have the hardest time comprehending my decisions. And, like, last year I took way more credits than I did this semester, and I had decent grades. I genuinely did, like, good grades. And I was also working like 4 days a week, which is crazy to me because I took calculus 1. And the spring semester I did similar course load, which I did mediocre, but it was a little harder. And coming into this semester, chem and bio completely, like, I had to genuinely lock in for these classes or else I would not pass. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my own studying habits, about how I deal with stress, about how I deal with adversity, how I overcome it, and how unrealistic my decision making can be. So I think that part of exploration is beautiful, but I just hate that I have this habit of making a mistake twice, and that's something that I want to fix. I don't know if that's just part of who I am or if that's a habit flaw. So, anyways, this has been going for 12 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep my podcast to like a maximum of like maybe 10 minutes. I was thinking 5, but 5 is too little, so 10 minutes because I'm gonna be uploading for 20 days straight and I will not miss a day. I will not miss a day in the 20 days that I'll be uploading to my YouTube channel. So I appreciate you coming along, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Peace.